Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode. Today we have got a lot of information from Eugene and P-Shack on the official Discord server for Corepunk. Probably thumbs up to P-Shack for basically being, I don't know, he's probably been in the server for like 5 hours or something like that and just answering questions on a weekend. I mean, he's basically working on a weekend. That is kinda amazing. So totally thumbs up for that, P-Shack, and also Eugene for jumping in later evening on the night. And I know in your time zone that was quite late for being there, so thumbs up to both of you to just stand in there and just have a chat with us and just answer a lot of questions about the game. But I have 59 Q&As about Corepunk, so get your popcorns, sit down, enjoy my fire lightning in the background, and let's get a lot of news about this game. If you was in the Discord server the whole day and you saw all the questions, you're probably not getting anything for seeing this video except listening to my voice. so that's the only thing. So let's get started, and just the first thing we are getting is P-Shack comes in, breaks the room, removes everything from the floor and say, "You can ask, guys. I will try to answer questions, but without detailed information, not because I can't. I just don't want to spoil your positive experience at the moment." I actually enjoy that he says that. I mean, it really shows that he's the lead game designer. He can basically do what he wants, but he don't want to spoil all the trailers and movies they're going to show us in the future. He actually wants us to have fun. Have fun with the game, just every time they make a new trailer, stream, anything, we just enjoy getting new information. Enough talk by now. Twister says, "Hey P-Shack, does one of the specializations on a character utilize a bow and arrow?" P-Shack says, "Hey," and yes. And when I saw this answer, that was the first one he pretty much answered, I was like, God damn it, this is freaking amazing. And just a little note from myself, I hope he also can have a pet, like a hunter from World of Warcraft-ish, or Guild Wars. I mean, every other game where you can have a bow and have a pet, but you don't need to have a pet. Understand me? It's just cool. But I really love the idea that we could get a bow and arrow. That's me. Asking, could you maybe tell us one of the specs for the druid guy? And he answered back, "We don't have exactly a druid at the moment, but we have a similar character." So I was like sad. I was just crying. I was just rolling at the floor and crying. You know what I mean? So I was just like, damn it. I really thought this guy you can see was a druid. I was like 100% sure he was a druid, but he's not a druid. We're gonna see. Maybe he's the guy who's going to use the bow, like a Saturn, or what was it? Saturn, the race with the half goat body and half human body, and maybe he has a bow. So I guess we'll see. Shivu, I'm actually interested if you considered the PvE PvP balancing split. If you have a system that lets you balance them separately or all under the same balance. I think we don't want is the druid not being invited to PvE dungeons because he's underpowered in PvE. Because he has a lot of CC. For example, he's overpowered in PvP, so you're unable to buff him. I see what you mean. P-Shack, Shivu, balance is a delicate topic, and in many aspects it depends on specific point of view. The fact is that for some there is a balance, for other an imbalance. I know what you mean. Some like it, some doesn't like it. We like everyone else are trying to find a middle ground, and it seems to us that we're doing well. We were able to maintain a huge variability of the builds, and a lot of them are really balanced and playable. But only you guys will tell us once we launch a game. Of course, I mean, one thing is what the developers think, and another thing is what we actually think. Yeah, I mean, we will see when open beta or stress test comes and we test all the specs, and some will be saying, this is not buffed enough. We'll see. Can we make whatever build, well, Wobbly, one of the moderators. Can we make whatever build I like the most OP one? Thanks, P-Shack, to ask a hard question. What's your philosophy on... Oh, okay, so there's more questions. P-Shack, to ask, what's your philosophy on balance so far? Have you nerfed the overpowered ones or buffed everyone else? What's your stance on power creep? Do you expect that over time everyone will get stronger due to buffs and old monsters will be weaker? Good point. Wobbly, says P-Shack. Maybe I'll say a very unpopular opinion now, but in my understanding, balance is not only about micromanagement, feroty crafting. It's also part of the balance, and if you're looking for cool and interesting builds better than others, the game shouldn't punish you for this. The lack of balance, in my opinion, is when it's already impossible to find a better build, or there are only a few best builds in the game. I get what he means. You know, for example, in World of Warcraft, you can have, for example, let's say the Warlock. Everyone has to play Destruction Warlock because that's the best spec in the game at the moment. So if you want to play Affliction or Demon Warlock, you can't because the spec is so bad. So you just have to play the Destruction spec. So I know what he means, that it's really finding the Corepunk, the core point. Sorry, the core point on how the game will be balanced, so we can play all the specs without feeling that I'm weak. No one will add me to the group because I'm playing this spec. That's really important. Twister. P-Shack, will we be able to trade armor, weapons, loot with our players? And P-Shack answers to Twister, sure, if the item is bind on if the item is bind on equipped, I can't say that word, equipped, then you can trade it. That's fair. That's really fair. That's like other games. That's nice. Nice to have a trade system. Andy, isn't in-game always a focus point in MMOs? And then P-Shack, I'm not quite sure if that's a question from Andy, but I just found this one. Andy said, well, then P-Shack answers Andy, our goal is to have a launch about 40% of pass-through content and 60% high-level content. We understand that for most players the game begins after the level cap, but we still want to make the journey to level 40 an unforgettable gaming experience. We have really interesting lore and quests. That's cool. I like that. I really like that. So when you're actually leveling, that's 40% of the game, and then end game will be 60% of the game. And of course, you know, end game is going to be PvE, raids, dungeons, and quest farming, crafting, PvP with raids, battlegrounds, arena, you know, all that. So definitely. Lyofa, how many characters can we create on a single account? Can we make one of all characters? And then P-Shack answer, Lyofa, honestly, we are thinking about it now. It depends on many factors, and the first public test will give us the necessary information to take the most right decision. I mean, I feel like you should be able to create each of the characters. Okay, I can see if they keep adding new heroes to the game, then of course in 2 years you will have you can create 100 heroes and you only have 20 character slots. That's fine, I mean, but when the game releases and you're not able to have one of each characters, and every time you want to create a new character you have to delete a character, that's So you're like, okay, I have these 5 characters now in level 5. Oh, I just want to try this one. Oh damn, now I have to delete one of my other level 5 characters. It's like, You know, yeah, we'll see how it ends. So P-Shack from Superta. Any plans when we will be able to see some long gameplay, or it's a secret at the moment? And P-Shack answer, Seputa, we are working on it right now. More accurate information on this subject I think Eugene will tell you. I can say for myself that this won't be long. We will soon be releasing more gameplay videos and videos about different in-game mechanics, but still our main goal at the moment is many hour streams. I would really like that. I would love watching your streams. If you stream, I will probably stream that stream, you know, like I will sit and do a live reaction on that stream. That would be really cool. I would love that. But you have to like warn us when the stream comes so we can prepare and, you know, take the time off to it. And, you know, not like have to spontaneous drop the live and see the stream. So Estelle, he's asking Pishak any information on the specialization of dual wielding, 2 axes, 2 swords, 2 daggers, and Pishak answers, Estelle, yes, we have them all, and this is so cool. So we're going to have a guy with 2 axes, we're going to have a guy with 2 swords, and we're going to have a guy with 2 daggers. Well, maybe the guy with 2 axes and sword is going to be the same. We don't know, probably not. But still, we're going to have a 3 dual wielding heroes, or maybe just one who can use different axe or dagger. But it's nice, so if you want to be like a brute and dual wielding Viking or something like that, you can be that. So I like that. That's really a good point. Estelle again. The most important information for me, if you're inspired by Lineage 2, we're gonna get castle siege fights. And can the guild have its stamp crest? Estelle, yes, we are planning castle siege, but it won't be immediately on release. That is really cool. That's a cool fact. I would really love to see some kind of a 20 versus 20 castle siege, something like that. That would be amazing. And I hope they will have like a theme of medieval age, you know. That would be cool. Not like a cyberpunk castle, but like an old school medieval castle. Cabbage. Wasn't that the new? Cabbage. Probably as before. Inspiration from other games, and Pishak answers, oh, it is a lot of games. So that's nice. That's nice. I am 226. Is this more a steampunk or cyberpunk world? Pishak. We have 4 cultures in Corepunk, and 2 of them steampunk and cyberpunk. Yeah, so with these four new factions we're getting, one of them is steampunk, one of them is cyberpunk, and then one of the other was like nature, so I think they'd probably be like kind of medieval. And the last one, I can't remember what they actually were. Then we have Sebastius. Trading concerns. If it has buy on acute items, then there will be auction houses for sure. Yeah. And Pishak answers Sebastius, yes, of course. Of course. So that's nice, having an auction house so you can grind items, sell it on auction house, and, you know, be rich. Estelle again. Damn, Estelle, you're getting respawned. Are you friends with Pishak? Is that something we need to know here? Pishak. Do we know anything about the financial game model, early access, buy to play? And Pishak answers Estelle. I can't say for sure about monetization now, but I can say one thing for sure. We won't sell any boosters or anything that can give an advantage in gameplay. I like that one. I like it. So no XP boost, anything like that. That's cool and fair. I like that point. Then we have CIMSN. Pishak, is there any info you can disclose about the profession system? Hearing about Sheriff has sparked my curiosity. And Pishak answers, I don't want to spoil the surprise. Okay. There will be surprises about the Sheriff. Cabbage. And ask Pishak, do you consider 20% increased XP monetary gains as advantages? Pishak asks Cabbage, yes, in my opinion it's in pay to win, but I understand that everyone has their own point of view and we respect this. We just don't want this in Corepunk. And basically what he means is you don't want to hate on other games, because Elder Scrolls Online you can buy scrolls that give you, I think it's 50% experience points. So if he said now that it is pay to win, then pretty much he's stating that other games is pay to win. And of course he don't want to do that, so he just say he don't want that in Corepunk. So that's totally fine. They're probably going to have some kind of a maybe bonus experience points weekends, but that's not pay to win, that's just free for everyone. Es legal, goddammit. Payshak. Will damage healing meta be available and customize UI big small like League of Legends? Mid main here, Division 1, Euro West. Estel, yes, we plan to do in-game damage heal meter. Okay, so he didn't answer the UI big small, but I'm pretty sure that will be. But he says that the game will have an inbuilt damage and healing meter. That is pretty cool. I don't think I've seen any games. Oh, okay. Some games have it when, you know, when you finish doing a dungeon, it will show who did what. But let's see how it works out. Pishak then answers, we have already master loot in the game, need for greed, free loot, random, and personal. You can choose any of these options. Okay, so what? So you have need for greed, free for all, random loot, and personal. So we have 4 loot rules. Okay, I kind of need a really big answer on that one. Does that mean that if you're doing personal, like I know personal in World of Warcraft has, then of course everyone is getting their own loot and their own drop chance? But I want to know which of these will give most items. If I do a dungeon with 4 people, which of these should I put on for making sure that everyone gets most items? And I hope that one will be the default one that will be active, so everyone gets the most out of it. But I can see need for greed and free loot and all that being nice, but I kind of think the personal one is the one that will give most. And for myself, it's also the most fun one because you don't have to think about rolling on items. You just, each of the persons get their own rewards. Well, it's just me. Estel again. Pishak, but every loot is a random, yes? Or is it pre-assigned to dungeon rate? And now the question is, will crafting matter? Will we have to craft items, or will it be possible to grind instances for drop items? How it is solved? And well, Pishak answer back, Estel, top items in game might be crafted, but you will need a recipe that some of them are very rare. I mean, if you found it, then you are rich. You can also get the best items from high-end dungeon rates. That's nice. So you can do it from strong dungeons, you can get it from strong raids, but you can be very rare and happy that, well, you're lucky it's more, that you also can get a recipe, so you can actually create the item. But I still hope that most of the gameplay will come. I mean, crafting of course has to do something, but I'm a guy who likes to go into dungeon and raids for getting items. Isle again. The system I know perfectly well good. Pishak, lead game designer, so the epic bosses are gonna drop recipe or the items. Good understand. Click on the emote if yes. Estel, epic bosses gonna drop recipe and items. But not only epic bosses, you will still have a chance to find rare recipes and items in wall drop. But the chances will be significantly lower, and these won't be the same recipes and items as with dungeon and raids. That is fair. That is actually really fair. That of course dungeon and raids will have exclusive items, but random monsters can also still give something cool if you want to grind randomly. Seperta. Personally, I don't like Group Finder. It's long-term game disaster. Pishak answers Seperta. We are not planning to implement things like automatic group finder as well as teleportation to dungeons. I kind of like automatic group finder and teleportation to dungeons for casual games. So, you know, like if you just don't want to do a random dungeon, that it's not hard, but you know, just a random dungeon. And then of course for hard content, the in-game dungeons and raids, you don't need that. But for like just easy, quick content, I would like to have that, but I can live without it. I can really live without it. I mean, and now with this Discord community we have, I think it's pretty easy to write in the Discord and say, hey, I need 3 people for this dungeon who want to join. So that's probably not going to be a problem. Cabbage answers. Cabbage asks Pishak, can you pick between QVER skills, or are they set for your class? And I am also asked, will you be able to change the keybinds of these QVER? Pishak then answers, Cabbage, they are set for each character. So you can change the spells you have on the first slots. And then and then he also answers I am on the changing keybinds. And he says, oh, sure. So of course you can change the key binding. So that's pretty cool.